I'm especially delighted that this commissioning is taking place in St. Elizabeth, which is known by all as the breadbasket parish. With the perennial drought conditions here, I believe that any cost reduction in irrigation water will be welcomed by the farmers as they seek to maximize their production and productivity here in St. Elizabeth. The project, ladies and gentlemen, signals the NIC's commitment to increase its efficiency, and accordingly, it is my pleasure to acknowledge and to introduce those who will be participating and some important persons who are attending with us in a very special way in today's ceremony. So let me at this time recognize the presence of the dynamic, very statesman. I don't know how many stars he's carrying nowadays. Probably tired of them. One of the longest serving members of parliament, well, the longest serving member of parliament for Manchester. The Honorable Audley Shaw, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries. You give him a round of applause because while he gets it all the time, he might feel a little bit happier this afternoon to be sitting beside his colleague and taking a little bit of the shine off him. None but the very dynamic, and of course you will recall, former Minister of the same Agriculture and Fisheries portfolio, Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth, Mr. Floyd Green. Please make him welcome. And he's very happy that things are taking place in his constituency here today. Of course, we have with us Mr. Nigel Myrie, the Chairman of the Board of Directors of the National Irrigation Commission. Mr. Myrie sitting right in the front here. Please make him welcome. We also have Mr. Christian James, the Vice Chairman of the NIC Board of Directors, and the CEO who is now acting, Mr. Milton Henry, and of course the entire team from the National Irrigation Commission. I want you to make them feel very happy this afternoon because what you're seeing here would have represented their long, hard work in moving in a very dynamic direction. Now, there are several other special invited guests. Lots of farmers are here. Members of the media, I see no other than Christopher Sergio from the Gleaner. And I hope he writes the appropriate story this afternoon. We have had many conversations, Mr. Sergio. I think you have quite a bit of information there to publish. We love to have you when you are staying on point. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I also see Mr. Turnbull, Mr. Michael Daly Turnbull. I don't know how a man end up with all of that double-barrel name, but anyway. He's representing the Agro-Invest Corporation, Mr. Turnbull. I see Mr. Cole, the Chief Technical Director from the ministry, and of course he's leading the entire ministry's team represented here this afternoon. So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, we thank the security people for being here. I didn't get the name of the officer in charge, but certainly their presence are welcome and, you know, is well felt. I see a sergeant down there, all 3 stripes and all, along with a senior soup, yes, on the phone there, but certainly we welcome the presence of the police this afternoon and hope that they will certainly provide the protection that we need. We're going to be continuing with greetings because, ladies and gentlemen, we have to give the NIC an opportunity to express themselves through the remarks to be taken to the audience this afternoon, being led by Mr. Nigel Myrie. Sorry, Mr. Milton Henry, who is going to come now to tell us how we arrive at this place that we are and the work that he has put in. Please welcome Mr. Milton Henry.
Thank you very much, Pierce. Honorable Audley Shaw, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Mr. Dermot Spence, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. My chair, Mr. Nigel Myrie, Chairman of the NIC Board. Sir Christian James, Vice Chair of the NIC Board of Directors. Mr. Floyd Green, Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth. His Worship, Mayor Councillor Derek Sangster, who joins us virtually. Members of the media, special guests, our farmers, colleagues, good afternoon. The NIC is really pleased to be the agency leading this renewable resource initiative that is designed to improve energy reliability in the irrigated agriculture sector. Ladies and gentlemen, what has been completed here is what has been needed for some time. And we are really grateful that we have taken the opportunity to be able to complete this installation. What we have here at Little Park S3 is a photovoltaic system comprising 600 solar panels. I didn't count them, I just took the energy engineer's point on it, along with two 100 kilowatt inverters located on 1.5 hectares of acres of land. The photovoltaic forms part of our carefully crafted strategic initiative aimed at reducing our water production costs. This project has quite a short payback time and has a lifespan of 25 years. So it will be around for a while to provide the service. And importantly, it is designed to withstand Category 4 hurricane wind pressures. And we know we need that kind of design level in this country. The project was installed by 2 contractors, and I think I must apologize for one who was not able to be with us. And during we sought to engage residents, and 15 residents were engaged to assist in the completion of the project. And we are very grateful for the participation from our residents. Of course, we're just looking on the PV system here, but as you see, there's the fencing, the inverter room, the CCTV, etc., which were as part of the security system, which were installed as part of the project. This is a significant effort by the NIC team, and we must acknowledge them. Let me, while I recognize all for the effort, I really wish to just, if you permit me to state a few. Firstly, Mr. Rowan Stewart, our Director of Engineering and Technical Services, who's constantly assessing what technology is available to find efficient and sustainable ways to improve the quality of service to your customers. And there is an internal energy team with what I'd say is 2 energy extraordinaires. Mr. Emil Myers, who's sitting, I think, behind the minister, well positioned, and as a project manager and energy engineer, and assisted by Mr. Andel Bent, who have shown a lot of drive and commitment to be able to get this work done. And, you know, if I may just quickly say, these are young engineers, and in the area where we work, many times we cannot find available enough engineering personnel. So we're very happy to keep them busy and to see them actually coming up with projects and implementing. Really, well done. So quickly, as the primary providers of irrigation service, the irrigation NIC is taking steps to improve and increase our renewable energy input in water production. After all, solar energy is free. And we have now the matter of climate change, which we have to seek to influence. So in closing, we wish to also recognize the wonderful effort from our farmers. This is really in support of our farmers as they continue to provide the contribution to this country. And NIC, thank you. And NIC will look to continue to enhance the service delivery in an environmentally friendly and technologically improved way to the agriculture sector. Thank you very much.
Our own JIS team members is straightening the mic. They normally get the news right. So we're always happy to have them. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you recognize that Mr. Henry was saying thank you a while ago on behalf of the farmers. Yeah, he said thank you, but you get the feeling that he was telling us thank you for him being up here. But the point is, it's really the farmers that he was saying thank you for. And so I want you to give the farmers a round of applause. They have single-handedly decided by their performance that you must recognize St. Elizabeth as the breadbasket. People who are not in farming hear that. They talk about it. But it's the blood, sweat, and tears of the farmers here in South St. Elizabeth that has resulted in us designating that name and so recognizing them for their efforts, and so they deserve all the support that they can get. They are contributing to the growth that has taken place in the agriculture sector despite the COVID pandemic and all the challenges that we have faced, the recovery from the hurricanes. They are ensuring that food is on the table. And even when people are talking about the variation in prices, and I see them, putting it out on Facebook, how much is the cost for one tomato, one cabbage, and all of that sort of thing. It is the resilience of the farmers that is going to help us to overcome those fluctuations and those variations. They must get our support and be recognized. Not to mention the pressure they are under from the scourge of predial larceny. And we would not come to any public platform and not ask the ministers to comment on what is happening out there. We have to take it on in a frontal way. It needs resources from the police and greater support from the community. We have to band together to ensure that this matter is addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, some 390 farmers will benefit directly from this solar upgrade. This is the first of 3 phases of solar retrofit for the Little Park pump station. We're going to be doing 2 more. I wish to commend the members of the board, acting CEO and staff of NIC. Have to really recognize and commend them because they are leading the initiative of the matter of renewable energy usage within the public sector. And I ask that you continue, the team from NIC led by Chairman Myrie, this drive for the benefit of Chairman of the Board of Directors of NIC, Mr. Nigel Myrie, to bring his remarks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Minister Shaw, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Mr. Dermot Spence, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Mr. Floyd Green, Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth, Mr. Christian James, our Vice Chairman of the National Board of the National Irrigation Commission Limited, other board members. We were supposed to have another board member here, but there are others who have joined us virtually. His Worship the Mayor, who is also connected virtually, Councillor Derek Sangster, Mr. Milton Henry, Acting Chief Executive Officer of the National Irrigation Commission Limited. I couldn't go on without speaking directly to the hard-working staff and dedicated staff of the National Irrigation Commission and our permanent ministry, our parent ministry, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. special guests, farmers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. In an era of COVID-19, we are forced to stay afloat or sink. And so far, the NIC has been staying afloat through very tough times with the strong support of an active board and the steady hands of the management. I want to commend the staff at the NIC for pushing through a very, very tough year. The Little Park Solar Retrofit Project is the third NIC pump station to be outfitted with solar panels to allow for the usage of renewable energy. Our Bengal pump station in Trelawney and the Ebony Park pump station in Mid-Clarendon are the other two facilities that have benefited from this type of technology upgrade. It is important to understand why we need to look at these solutions to address the cost of producing water for our farmers in the country. In St. Elizabeth, for example, we have some of the deepest wells that we have in our system. And the cost to lift the water from that depth is actually very high, the energy cost. So you can imagine if you were to lift a weight from a high platform, right, and to stand on the platform and lift it up there, you would feel that force that is pulling on you to take that object up with you. It's the same thing with the water. For us to take that water from underground, 300 feet or deeper, right, requires a lot of energy, and therefore it is going to have to come in the form of some cost. And if we have renewables, we can put them in place to be able to offset a significant amount of the costs related to the production of irrigation water. This project started in February 15, 2021, and was completed on September 9th, costing 53.14 million in total. The solar component cost is 40.37 million, and the rest of it was absorbed by land acquisition, so the area that is fenced, and the fencing costs in addition to some other sub-projects. At this site, 200 kilowatt capacity has been installed, which will generate some 37% of the energy requirement currently. But we're not done. In the coming few months, in the new financial year, we'll be increasing the capacity to 350 kilowatts.
What percent will that be?
Sorry?
What percent will that be?
Emil, what's the percent when it's not a linear calculation? What will the percent be with the additional 150 kilowatt? All right. It is a very worthy investment, Minister for Agriculture. The project was delayed by 6 weeks, and the contract price also increased by $3.9 million due to logistics and increases associated with shocks brought on by the COVID-19. I am extremely pleased, and I'm sure that everybody here today is pleased at the outcome of this project. We at the NIC take our work very seriously because we know that the work that we do in support of our farmers is critical to bring forth sustainability in the agriculture sector. I want to thank the contractor, Alternative Power Sources Limited, for delivering, and he was unable to make it here today because of an accident some weeks earlier. MP, Minister, we are expected to save some $9 million annually, or approximately 20% of the annual billing cost at this station. That is money that we can use to make other systems more efficient and drive down production costs so that our farmers remain competitive. With so much uncertainty in the world because of the COVID-19, we are doubling our efforts at the NIC and our resolve to ensure that we make the best use of our resources to give farmers the infrastructure to help them to produce good quality food, to feed the nation and the hundreds of thousands of visitors that come here annually. We do not know exactly what the next 5 years will bring, but we have to prepare as best as possible to bring efficiency to the agriculture sector. As the NIC makes strides to be a national provider of irrigation services, hint, hint, Minister, a national provider of irrigation services, We recognize the need for continued and extended research to utilize the best available technologies, water resources data, because our experiences recently in the Essex Valley area tells us that we need significant amount of resource data in respect to our aquifers, right, and the water that is contained therein, and policies in accordance with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries mandates to improve and expand our service delivery. The Little Park Solar Project falls within Jamaica's National Energy Policy Goals, number 3 and number 6. Goal number 3 states that Jamaica realizes its energy resource potential through the development of renewable energy sources and enhances its international competitiveness and energy security whilst reducing its carbon footprint. And Goal 6 says that government ministries and agencies are a model or leader in energy conservation and environmental stewardship in Jamaica. And the NIC is out there as a leader. This project, Minister, puts the NIC on target for 4% energy generation from renewables by March 31, 2022, and fits into the NIC's corporate plan to develop a renewable energy utilization program. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of irrigation practices must move beyond the usual approaches of just productivity gains and also focus on rural prosperity, facilitating rural prosperity, facilitating inclusive, equitable, and greener growth. No pun intended. A lot of our farmers supply to hotels here in Jamaica, and if we take stock, we realize that we are growing our room count, and every year, more and more tourists come to Jamaica. What does that mean for our farmers right here in Little Park that supply the hotels? It means that there will be increased demands for your crops, for your produce, for your output. That then means that we will have to ensure that when you need water, the irrigation infrastructure is there, is ready to supply that water so that your crops can grow, so that you can be productive. Because we don't want it to be said that Jamaican farmers cannot supply the food that we need to feed not only the tourists but also ourselves. We want climate resilient farms supported by efficiently produced irrigation water to produce the best quality food so we can grow our way out of poverty and have food security and secure our prosperity. Ground is moving. A 400-meter perimeter fence, Minister, has been installed to establish demarcation and protection. I want to thank PAVECON Limited for constructing this fence. But as I wind down, I want to urge members of the community to protect this infrastructure. This is your tax dollar at work. Do not let thieves and those who set out to destroy communities and livelihoods interfere with our irrigation infrastructure. Let us protect it and let us all enjoy the benefits that it will bring to the hard-working farmers of this community. Ladies and gentlemen, the commissioning of this solar retrofit project here in Little Park is a precursor to other projects in the pipeline for St. Elizabeth. The Essex Valley Development Project will see some 800 hectares having access to farm gate irrigation water supply and is already well advanced in terms of implementation, and commissioning should be realized in 2023. That will also bring with it a renewable energy component. Following close on the heels of that project, we'll consider another major irrigation development in the Preja Plains area again, which will take water from the Black River. Ladies and gentlemen, the NIC is here working for you. All right? I want to thank you very much. NIC irrigation making the difference in agriculture.
Thank you very much, Mr. Myrie, Chairman of the National Irrigation Commission, NIC, making a difference. You know, police is here. What's the problem? Listen, the the flagging, Jamaican flag. They say it's one of the only flag in the world that doesn't have a lot of the popular colors that you find around, especially red. Most flags in the world have red in it. That's why Jamaican flag has been rated as one of the most unique ones in terms of design and color. But there's meaning to the colors that are there. Those of you who learn about the flag in school, it say, those there's hardship which represents the black in it. The sunshine it. That's from the gold that is in it. And the grass is green. That's from the green that is there. So, symbolically, it demonstrates recovery from prosperity, from difficulty, from hardship. And this wind that is blowing, nobody takes any offense because you like it. It's Christmas. So Merry Christmas to all of you here and a Happy New Year when it comes. For those that are joining us online, the same sentiments is expressed. But what are the colors for Christmas, Minister? Here is red, white, and green. Yes? So what does that say? We make sacrifices through the shedding of blood. There's plenty of water to wash it away, make us white and pure. And that same water furnishes the regrowth and greenery that is demonstrated, which represent birth, new beginning, and prosperity. If you have never had that interpretation of Christmas, you can hold that one. Because I now move to the point where having demonstrated two significant issues, the flag as well as Christmas, it maintains one common color, and that is green. And green means youth, exuberance, vitality, prosperity, promises, regrowth. And of course, if you have no other meaning for green, then it is the lifeblood of agriculture to demonstrate that it continues to flourish and to furnish. All of that represents the gentleman I'm about to call. He continues to flourish and continue to serve this constituency as Member of Parliament right here in Southwest. And at this point in time, for a man who is dedicated to a community which he intends to bring life and prosperity to, he was grown up here and continues to serve here. I want you to really make welcome to come and bring his remarks no other than MP Floyd Green this afternoon. All the prosperity, all the growth, all the greenery. They call him Baba Green.
That is what I think the National Irrigation Commission is doing today. They are moving to ensure that we can provide irrigation efficiently, effectively, and sustainably. And for the almost 400 farmers that benefit directly from this Little Park pump station, this is long overdue. And for two reasons. I think Chairman Myrie, Minister, went into one of the critical reasons, which is the cost, and I'll come back to it. But the other reality, Minister, that we have here in St. Elizabeth is that unfortunately our electric pump stations often suffer from fluctuations in voltage, significant fluctuations, which time and time again sends down our pumps. And oftentimes you call to find out what is the reason that our farmers cannot get water, and you hear that there has been a fluctuation in electricity supply, and as such, the pump has shut down. Part of our move today, Minister and friends, is to ensure that we have a much more stable and sustainable provision of energy. And as such, I really want to commend the NIC, and I think we should give the NIC a big round of applause. I think the NIC is truly moving with the times, and they have speeded up their movement to recognize that we have a lot to catch up on, and that time is not our friends, and that our farmers continue to work hard and to serve, but they need the support. And I must say we are seeing the fruits of that. In fact, it wasn't too long that we were down this side of the world commissioning some new trucks, and I can tell you the trucks are working non-stop, and they have really helped to ensure that the farmers are able to go through our dry period. And unfortunately, we've had significant dry periods, and the trucks have come in timely. I am also aware that we should be coming back here soon to do some work, Mr. Henry, in relation to the amphibious excavator to help in our river cleaning and drainage. And if you don't know, the Black River is a significant part of the constituency, and cleaning that river directly affects our ability to farm. And as such, I'm looking forward, Permanent Secretary and Minister, hopefully early in the new year, for us to get that amphibious excavator up and running so that we can bring, again, effectiveness and efficiency to our river cleaning and drainage support. So this is a good day. And I'm happy to hear that we will be saving up to $9 million annually from the installation of this solar project. And I hope that that savings can be used to do a couple of things, and I'll put them out as the Member of Parliament. One, we definitely need more trucks. So I will say to the NIC team, continue to build your fleet of trucks. Because the reality is, as it takes time to expand our irrigation networks, the irrigation supply through our trucks reduces the cost to the farmer. So the more of those trucks that we can have available and out there working is the better for our farmers. Additionally, I'm going to ask the team to fast track the Pedro Plains irrigation system. It is needed. Some of the best farmers in this part of the island still do not have irrigation supply. Places like Flaggerman, still parts of Baker, Newcomb Valley, still do not have irrigation supply. And the quicker we can get irrigation to them is the more Jamaica will benefit. So we already have the feasibility study. We already know what needs to be done to take the water from the Black River to feed the plains of Pedro. I asked the team to see how we can quicken that pace of implementation. The last two, clearly we hope, and we know it won't happen in the short term, but the farmers also want to see a lower unit cost for the water. So we hope that this can drive down the cost of the irrigation water to the farmers. It still is their major expense. So if we can get that down, the farmers will get more return on their investment and they will invest more. My farmers not afraid to invest. That is what they do. That is what they use to send the children to school. But sometimes the cost is what is holding them back. So Mr. Henry and the team, I know in the short term you have to recoup. But we want to see a lower cost of the irrigation water to the farmers. And finally, you know what I would love to see some of the money be put to? And I know I talking like it's a lot of money, not true? I know, it's not a lot of money. But I would love, PS Minister, if we could have a project to treat with the infrastructure leading to our sites. So the road networks that lead to our pump houses, I think we should have a special project to raise the quality of that infrastructure. Because you don't want to outlay so much resources and then have a difficulty accessing it. So I have a number of roads that I would love to suggest as MP in this area that serves the irrigation network. As Mr. Henry scratching head, Minister, really, we could start with one like this, seriously. You know, it makes a big difference, because not only will you be helping to get to your sites, you would also help the farmers to get to their fields. So this is a good day for us. A lot of governments, a lot of countries talk about climate change. I think this government has shown that we take action to deal with climate change. And this project will lower our carbon footprint and will help in the fight for climate change. Finally, we have the best farmers in the world. The best farmers in the entire world. And there's no doubt about that. I am not but not talk on that. We have the best farmers in the world. Give us the support and watch Jamaica prosper. God bless you.
Thank you very much, MP Green. Please give him another round of applause. Very vibrant and passionate, insightful remarks. I told you that we'll be talking about support, vim, vigor, and vitality, recovery, and all of that greenery. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a very pivotal point in our program. I did mention that the Honorable Audley Shaw, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, not to mention his many other portfolios that he has held in the past and that he currently holds, very senior statesman, a gentleman who is very passionate about farming, long before Minister Green could dream of it. The area that he is Member of Parliament for is one of the dynamic and consistent high-producing areas. As a matter of fact, Minister, it is well established that annually the competition for the #1 parish lies between Manchester and St. Elizabeth. And one year you would have Manchester outperforming St. Elizabeth, and the next year St. Elizabeth would outperform Manchester. So it is very, very good this afternoon to have both of those Member of Parliament who are responsible, and particularly the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, who is also the Member of Parliament for Manchester, which South? Northeast. So please make welcome senior statesman, and you know him. Come forward, Minister. The Honorable Audley Shaw, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries. The last time I tried that, I didn't spell it correctly, and he reprimanded me.
Tell him how you spelled it.
You know, I spell it Y-A-R-D, you know, in a text to him, and he sent back and said, your spelling is incorrect. It's Y-A-A-D.
you. Thank you very much, Mr. Derman Spence, our permanent secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. Mr. Courtney Cole is here? Oh, there you are. Mr. Courtney Cole, Chief Technical Director in the Ministry, is with us virtually. I want to recognize him. Mr. Milton Henry, Acting CEO of the NIC, and the entire NIC team. Specially invited guests, farmers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everyone. It is my distinct pleasure to be here today for the commissioning of the Little Park F3 solar project here in St. Elizabeth. And I want to apologize for being late because I had to attend a funeral service in my constituency of a dear lady and her son that were buried today at the same time. Let me commend the National Irrigation Commission for its continued work in responding to the challenges faced by our farmers. Specifically, this solar upgrade will benefit, as we have been told before, 390, almost 400 farmers here in the Little Park community. St. Elizabeth, in my script it says, St. Elizabeth is Jamaica's breadbasket parish. And I'd like to say St. Elizabeth and Manchester are the breadbasket parishes of Jamaica. But therefore, in our efforts to improve and expand the agricultural sector in Jamaica, St. Elizabeth will always prove to be a national investment that will benefit all Jamaicans. The Little Park F3 pump station is the third NIC pump facility to be retrofitted, joining the Bengal pump station in Trelawney and Ebony Park in Mid-Clarendon. Little Park is the NIC's single largest energy user and operates for 20 hours each day. The installation is a 200 kilowatt grid-tied solar system which allows the Little Park pump station to self-generate 37% of the energy requirement for the pump facility. With this upgrade, the NIC's annual bill from the Jamaica Public Service Company is projected to be reduced by 20% or some 9 million Jamaican dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, this is only phase 1 of the project. Phases 2 and 3 will see the total capacity at the pump station reaching 350 kilowatt and will further reduce the cost of operation by the NIC. The total project cost for phase 1 is 53 million Jamaican dollars and include other sub-projects such as land acquisition and 2 inverter rooms. The 390 farmers that will benefit from the project operate on nearly 500 hectares of land and include 100 women and 1 person living with with a disability. It is a project of inclusion and extensive advantage. The Ministry of Agriculture is pleased with the National Irrigation Commission Limited in its implementation and increased use of renewable energy in water production. The climate crisis is upon us, and the need for widespread action to deal with its adversities is quite evident. The government of Jamaica is committed to developing and implementing policies and systems to mitigate the impacts of the climate crisis, and maximizing our usage of renewable energy is one way of cushioning the impacts of climate change. And you know, let me say here, those of you who have been watching international news, you've seen what happened in the United States a few days ago. Unbelievable the devastation that has been caused in places like Kentucky. The death toll is close to 100 already. When we see things like that, we realize that hurricanes are not the worst, although it's bad. But in everything, we must give God thanks. The pandemic has exposed the fragility in some of our leading industries. But of note is the resilience in our agriculture sector as our farmers continue to skillfully weather the changing tide. To our farmers, the government of Jamaica will continue to serve you and use international best practices in agriculture to maximize your output. We are serious about development through agriculture as we continue to push our Eat What You Grow, Grow What You Eat campaign. And you know, the Permanent Secretary mentioned the fact that I'm not unfamiliar with agriculture. And before I come down, I have to tell you a little secret. When I was 17 years old, I used to help my father feed the pigs, tie out the cows, milk the cows, take the milk up to the road for the milk truck, go back down, hold her fresh, and then go to high school. And at Homewood Technical High School, I became the national president. I became the president of the 4-H club at Homewood. And I also was a member of the Cadet Corps, was a sergeant major in the Cadet Corps. Then I was elected national president of the Jamaica 4-H clubs. I missed my graduation, Floyd, at Homewood because I attended the Royal Agricultural Show in Coventry in England. Just wanted to tell you that so anybody think I'm not qualified to be minister of But before I end, I want to express my sincerest condolences to the family and friends of the 76-year-old Henry Jones and 42-year-old Brian Chambers, two small ruminant farmers from Westmoreland who were found murdered on Tuesday. I've issued a statement condemning these attacks on our farmers, and call on our police force to ensure that we bring these criminals to justice. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries has been placing resources in our Prairie Larceny Prevention Unit to assist to curtail theft against our farmers. We have to continue to be vigilant and speak up where we have information so that we can win the fight to reduce and to eliminate Prairie Larceny in Jamaica. As we look to recover stronger, we want agriculture to rebound as one of the top industries in Jamaica. And it is projects like this one at Little Park F3 pump station that will facilitate the recovery of the sector as we look to the promising future of agriculture. We have a lot of idle lands, a lot of idle hands. And if sugar is not working everywhere in Jamaica, other things can work. And you know something? There is an insatiable desire and demand across the world for things produced in Jamaica. There's something unique about the taste of what we produce. I see my good friend, Brother Palmer, is here. Nice to see you, my friend. But when you look at it, mangoes grow in other areas of the Caribbean don't taste like mangoes that grow in Jamaica. It is just unique. Our avocado, it's so unique we can't call it avocado, we call it pear. Right? June plum, I'm told. There's a great desire for June plum, which we grow in Jamaica. And a few months ago, the National Geographic magazine of the United States of America declared Jamaica's ackee and saltfish as one of the 10 best dishes in the world. The world. In fact, it was listed as dish number 2. And right now, we do not export ackee and saltfish as a finished product. We need to put in more ackee orchards, more mango orchards, more June plum and avocado orchards. Listen to me. In every adversity, there is an opportunity. In every adversity, there's a seed of greater benefit. We must find it, sow the seed, watch it grow, and watch us move to prosperity. So today, I'm happy to be here to join in this launch of this fantastic project. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless our farmers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister, the Honorable Audley Shaw. Please give Honorable Audley Shaw, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, another round of applause. That pear one sounding very good. So unique that we don't call it avocado, we call it pear. A pair of them are here this afternoon enjoying themselves with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Mr. Christian James, our Vice Chairman of the Board of Directors at the NIC, to give the official vote of thanks. Please make him welcome.
not as half as funny as the speakers before. But Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Audley Shaw, Mr. Dermot Spence, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Mr. Nigel Mary, my own Chairman of the Board of Directors of the National Irrigation Commission Limited, Mr. Floyd Green, my Member of Parliament of this very green and beautiful Southwest St. Elizabeth, His Worship the Mayor, Councillor Derek Sangster. I see our former Mayor, Councillor Palmer. This happens to be his division. Acting CEO, Milton Henry, our special guest, our farmers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The National Irrigation Commission Limited wants to thank all of our valuable stakeholders who have made the Little Park project a great success. Honorable Minister Shaw, we are grateful for your presence and your commitment to transform and improve the agricultural sector. Mr. Dermot Spence, Permanent Secretary, you have been an excellent chairperson at this important occasion. And you shall have a career in comedy after this. Gratitude is also being extended to our board chairman, Mr. Nigel Myrie, and my fellow board directors for provision of guidance and oversight of this project we hope will revolutionize water production in our Hounslow district. I would like to take this opportunity to highlight and commend Mr. Joseph Giles, CEO of NIC, for his leadership and commitment in making this Little Park solar project a success. This commendation also extends to the passionate and hard-working staff of the National Irrigation Commission Limited. We salute you for your drive and dedication in making phase 1 of this project an accomplishment. Furthermore, I would like to extend gratitude to our contracting partners, Alternative Power Sources and Pavecon Limited. And how can we forget our farmers? Our farmers are the drivers of food production and our local economy. The NIC admires your loyalty and thank you for choosing us as your irrigation service provider. To our media partners, we appreciate your presence here today and we look forward to partnering with you in the near future as we continue to highlight the great work of the National Irrigation Commission across this country. Season's greetings and thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. James, for moving the vote of thanks. I would like to add my little bit of thanks to you all for being here this afternoon. But at this point in time, we have come to the final phase of this afternoon's activity. And I want to thank you all for joining us. We're now going to be doing the official cutting of the ribbon and signaling the official commissioning of the Little Park Solar Project. And then we're going to do a little tour of the facility. And so at this point in time, I'm going to ask that we gather right, I would think to our right, where we'll be fitted with some vests. And Minister Shaw is invited to lead the team in the official cutting of the ribbon. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us gather from a distance, but ask MP Green, Minister Shaw, Mr. Myrie, Mr. Henry, Mr. Stewart, and the media people to gather so that Minister Shaw can be given his vest, and the team can be given their vest, and then we can have the official cutting of the ribbon. The team from the ministry, Ms. Smalling, the team from NIC, please facilitate the activities. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, after we have tour and all of that, refreshment is available. I don't want anybody to run away and not have something to eat. So we are going to cut the ribbon and tour, and we are going to be having something to eat, and everybody is invited to have something to eat. Thank you all very much. Yes, they can wait on you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the minister will join us momentarily. Am I to get a vest and a cap to look like I'm representing? We have enough vests? Cool. You are properly equipped. Ladies and gentlemen, please come forward. Minister, we say you have to come on this side. Come. Where is the MP? Right beside Minister. Where's Mr. Milton Henry and Mr. Nigel Myrie? And all the stalwarts from the NIC. Yes, position yourself, Vice Chair. We're ready to cut. Gonna cut after 3. 1, 2, 3. Cut away, Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the little park, whatever. Solar system pumping station. It's now time for a little tour. Who is leading the tour? Yes, and lead and explain what is happening in a very brisk way. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you cannot go on the tour, but certainly refreshment is being served, and so you can start refreshing yourself. All the lovely food that we have here.
Over the wind turbines. Thank you. We're just in the valley over the wind, below the wind turbine, so it's a very windy site. You would have noticed quite a bit of toppling over. This is typical for this site. So in terms of our design, the system was designed to withstand category 4 wind speeds. Also very unique to this location. Typically those in the solar, the energy field, will come on site and they may point out that the bearings, their bearings or their coordinates may be off. The system actually faces east, which is contrary to facing south, panels facing south for typical solar installations in the region. The land slopes west to east, and so it is a really innovation. We slope the panels along with the slope of the land. What we had to do to compensate for any energy losses was we used a concept called over-paneling. It is one of the first installations within this hemisphere using it. However, what it guarantees is that even though our panels are not at the optimum tilt, we still generate optimal energy output with the system. So it has been working, it has proved itself, the design as well as the output, and we're happy to have you here as a part of the system. The first using the over paneling at the percentage that we are at. It's over paneling. So you tie more panels to an inverter. Typically you do 20% in installations. This installation now uses 50%. So you're using more panels to an inverter. What it means is that earlier in the day, normally you get peak solar output at about 10 a.m. We are getting that as early as 8 a.m. in the morning. So we generate more of our own energy. To over paneling, the concept of over paneling. We get more energy earlier in the day, so we offset more of our energy throughout the day. Are connected on the system. So the system is really 600 panels spread out on 10 tables. They have been designed and balanced. All has worked well. We have tested 600 panels here. And the system will be expanded to 350 kilowatts within the next 2 financial years. Both panels and inverters. So the capacity will be expanded. So we'll utilize the entire land area here, which is to the northern side, as well as here, going down to the fence. We can continue to the inverter room here. All right, let me leave.
So I'll just lead you now to the inverter room where the 2 solar inverters are installed. So pass here, Minister. So these are 2 babies, inverter 1 and 2. These are both 100 kilowatt. The first installation within this hemisphere to utilize this technology, meaning the over paneling where we can over panel up to 50%. So it has been doing quite well. You would realize this one is fully loaded, whereas this inverter still has some room for expansion. So with our expansion, we will still tie in into this inverter while expanding the system. So we built this room, we expanded the room to house the inverter. So that was a part of our project cost.
And these are controlled, can they be controlled virtually?
Yes, so these can be monitored virtually anywhere in the world. You can see your energy production. If there is an issue with voltage or any fluctuations, we get notifications by email as well as by phone. So we'll be able to pick up any issues and respond within 24 hours. We also purchased a 12-month maintenance program. So the contractor is responsible to respond on site to any issues that we would have within the first 12 months. Good to have you, good to have you.
small. It's Jamaica.